being a product company, going to a service company, a lot of companies went through this, is a big change. By enabling that business model, we actually improve people's lives. Matching the business opportunity to our corporate social sustainability project, that is really what drives me right now.
Mr. Ferrari, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for participating in Stanton Chase Game Changer series about companies going through drastic change. Now, digitalization is a buzzword, but according to you as a captain of industry, what major trends do you see in the automotive industry today?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here. So our industry is really going through a dramatic change. Some companies perceive this change as a threat. We perceive these changes as fantastic opportunities for us. I think in the future, more and more, the car park will be made of vehicles that are zero emission, self-piloted, connected and shared. And just this tells us how different it will be, the car park that we'll see on the streets going forward. At the same time, from a pure technology point of view, we see a lot of changes in the pure access to technology that we have as managers, as employees in our companies. So obviously big data is a big part of our world, and it will be more and more. Artificial intelligence, everything's in the cloud, applications, software as a service. So the combination of the changes that we see in our own industry and the changes that we see in the technology world combined together are fantastic opportunities.
How then does Bridgestone EMEA really react to these trends? Or how do you try to answer to these different trends that are ongoing today?
Historically, we've been more and more a company of course, a tire manufacturer. We've been a company very much focused on products, on manufacturing, technology related to product. All of these trends that we're seeing right now force us to be much more than that. We will keep on investing in our core business, for sure, both manufacturing as well as product development, but more and more we need to become a solutions provider. We like to tell ourselves that we're going to become a brilliant mobility solutions provider. Which is a big cultural change. Being a product company, going to a service company, a lot of companies went through this, is a big change. It's a cultural change, it's a change in terms of competence and capabilities, it's a change in the way we go to market. We need to be a lot quicker in going to market. So I think as Bridgestone we're doing all of this. We're tackling this from a recruiting point of view, so new talent. We're tackling this from a training point of view, so we need to keep our people ahead of the technology curve. But also we tackle this through open innovation. Open innovation for us is very important.
What do you mean with open innovation?
So the more we go into new territories, new technologies, new business models, the more we need to understand that we need to also access competences and capabilities outside of our company and even outside of our immediate partners. So open innovation for us is to identify projects and to put around this project our own people, so let's call them tire experts, but also our partners that bring in new technologies and new competences, universities, consulting companies, all around in the same physical environment to work on specific projects, so that also our own people, being exposed to these competences, can absorb and make these competences theirs. So that's open innovation to us. And a good example is we created what we call the Bridgestone Digital Garage in Rome. In Rome, we have our R&D center for Bridgestone EMEA. We have more than 600 people there that mainly focus on material development and of course, on product development, focused on tires. But now we have this space which brings together people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different technology expertise to work around projects, and therefore also our own engineers that have been exposed for all of their lives to tires and to materials are now exposed to artificial intelligence, to data analytics, to new business models, and therefore can grow a lot faster to help us move into these new domains.
So it's all part indeed of the sharing economy to that extent. And on the other hand, how do you protect your data? How do you protect your intellectual property as an organization?
So I think it's important that we understand that the world is changing and that you have a lot more of a chance to grow and to stay ahead of the technology curve if you share more than if you really protect. Of course, we need to be very careful on how we protect our intellectual properties around tires. But the more we extend our business domains and we access other types of data, consumer data, retail data, data coming from fleets management, I think that data needs to be shared in this ecosystem to develop better and better services and also to explore new business models. So I think it's always a balance between protecting some of your IP, core IP, but also being more open to sharing for a faster growth.
You're currently, as explained, in a very fast-changing industry. The organization itself is also fast-changing. We refer to the fact that it's a cultural change, which is a very difficult as a change management process. So when you joined Bridgestone EMEA CEO, what were your and still are your top priorities, organizational ones?
So I think the top priority for me was to steer the organization in having a culture which is not just a product culture, but also a service culture. Also to steer the organization into having much more of a challenger's approach and mindset rather than the industry leader. We are the leader in the world in tires. But in today's world that is changing fast, you need to have a challenger's approach and mindset even when you are the leader. A challenger is fast, is creative, is lean, and in order for us to capture all the opportunity that we have in this evolving ecosystem in automotive, we need to have that kind of culture.
And that's then key in bringing a winning team to the table, according to you?
Absolutely. We believe in a winning team is made of hybrids. Hybrid is not just a concept that, of course, is fashionable and current in the industry, but is also a strong term applied to people and to teams. So we want to, on a solid foundation of tire guys and girls, we would like to have people from different geographical backgrounds, diversity in gender. We want to have people from different industries and different technology backgrounds. If you can put this team together as we have done in the last few years, I think we really can have a winning team that builds on the core competence that we do have and continues to protect our leadership in the tire business, but at the same time, put us into new domain to be successful also as a solutions provider.
All right. So indeed, we discussed, of course, like you mentioned, the open innovation, the challenges that Bridgestone is heading. But may I take it a little bit more personal now?
Of course.
Okay, great. Well, who do you consider as a role model when it comes to managing change or just in general?
So it's a tough question because there's a lot of smart people out there, and in the last several years we saw a lot of new companies coming to the market and being disruptive. But I actually want to go back a little bit in time because I think that a company that to me proved how you need to continue investing to be ahead of the curve is actually Microsoft. And I think Bill Gates, of course, as a leader, as a founder, has shown us what it's like to be always on top of things and actually promoting new technology change, from the first software to the cloud.
So then you may know as well that Mr. Gates of Microsoft stated once, a leader tries to make sure that today is not the day we miss the turn in the road. But everybody gets taken by surprise. So what is your biggest surprise in your professional career you encountered?
Quite a few of them, but let's think of the biggest one. I think I was lucky to be involved into the hype and the fall of the internet bubble in the late 90s and early 2000. And I was working for a big publishing group, for the internet startup of a big publishing group. So we were all excited about content and of course unique users and the value that you could attribute to unique users, and there was a big hype and we all could get all kinds of financing in the world. But then in parallel to that, there was a company that was concentrating on search. which a lot of us in the media industry actually underplayed, and of course the company was Google. So sometimes it's incredible how close disruption can be to you, and somehow you overlook. So as I'm looking at all these disruptive trends in our own industry right now, we're making very, very much sure that we don't miss the Google of the of the automotive. But that was probably the biggest one, yeah.
You just mentioned that you want to avoid that you miss the next Google. How do you make sure that you're able to spot it?
That's a fantastic question. It's not easy, obviously. I think it starts with the mindset. You have to have such an open mindset that you don't take anything for granted. You need to surround yourselves also with partners that are active in scouting technology and opportunities anywhere from the Silicon Valley through to Israel and Berlin and all the way to the Far East. So I think the ecosystem of startups, of incubators, and of funds that you need to have around you is very, very, very much important. And then you have to work on your own business model. By challenging your business model and going into new domains, by definition you need partners, and you reach out to partners, especially in the early stages of the startup, and you bring them on board to work on projects. And we may end up already working with today's Google in the automotive industry in all the projects that we have. So there's not one silver bullet. You need to really have an ecosystem around, and it all starts with the mindset. An open innovation mindset, in general, an open mindset to consider what's going on around you.
Of course, you still have quite some years of career in front of you. But nonetheless, if at a certain point in time you had to look back at your career, what do you want to have accomplished?
So from this point of view, I'm a little idealistic. I am married, I am a father of 4, so my wife and I do care a lot about the future of our kids. And so having the opportunity to really help the ecosystem, building a more sustainable business model in transportation in general is a big drive for us. So if as Bridgestone, by becoming a brilliant mobility solutions provider, we can have better cities with much better traffic conditions, cleaner air, better mobility, and people happier because their lifestyle is a lot better than what it is right now, where they have to spend time in traffic and being upset. I think that will really make me happy. Also because I know that it's a good business model, and therefore matching the business opportunity to our corporate social sustainability project, that is really what drives me right now. It's a fantastic opportunity.
Well, then we wish you and Bridgestone all the best for many years. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.